And what does that mean? The biggest discussion of the day we want to have is whether it's okay to drink a frappuccino in the morning. So we have Dr. Raymond Tidman over here to my left and Amanda to my right, and they're discussing whether it's okay to drink a frappuccino, and both of them agree. Is that correct? Have at it. So I'm your host, BKP, and we're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge every Friday morning. It's a beautiful morning. Now, I do not want to hear any complaining about the rain yesterday. I don't want to hear it. Let me listen. That's right. I better not hear any complaining, because two things. Number one, you know, it was what I call a garden rain. It was a garden rain. Our farmers, your gardens out there needed that nice, gentle rain. I know it came down. I sat on the side porch yesterday. Are we good? Yeah. Well, you got your paw in the air like you want to ask a question, okay? I'm just scared. You got your paw in the air. You know, my kids said, Dad, my kids said, Dad, you know, we were teenagers before we realized we didn't have paws and hooves. Anyhow. Yeah, keep your paws off me and your hoofs off the table. I mean, doesn't everybody say that? Yeah, we need that. We need a sign. Yeah, my kids said, hey, we were teenagers before we realized we didn't have paws and hoofs. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh, yesterday afternoon. So I go home yesterday afternoon, because you must know this, right? And I sit on the side porch, and that rain was just so relaxing. You know, it was so relaxing. It was gentle. It was nice rain. It was quiet. And wow, I enjoyed a cheap cigar. I shouldn't say that, should I? Don't try that at home, folks. Anyhow, Circuit World. JR, are you here?
Barely. You didn't make my coffee.
I didn't make JR's coffee. He's barely here, but JR has this place packed because they're ready to move stuff. Now, we have Dr. Raymond Tidman with us this morning in a couple minutes, and Rick will be in. Our all-star panel is down to 2. Bruce is traveling, and Jane is traveling. She's taking a little time off traveling with Dr. Whaley. And so Rick and I will be together here, and then we have our pet of the week. The deportation bus, do we have that? Now, in the Georgia Republican governor's primary, we have had candidates steal the news line of the day. And that's really what they need to do at this time, is these candidates are all figuring out, what can I do that's so outrageous or has such that is going to infuriate or get such attention, let's go with that Fox News will want me to be on Saturday morning on Fox and Friends, and they'll want to interview me on Tucker Carlson, and that the MSNBC side and the CNN side, that's the negative news networks, they will want to run story after story on how I'm so conservative, which will help my conservative base, all that. You understand, right? So, you know, Brian Kemp has done a pretty good job getting the news day with his Jake commercial with the shotgun, and then he's going to take his F-250 and he's going to load up illegals and drive them to the border. Well, come along, not to be outdone, Micheal Williams, polling at 3%. Maybe he's doing better, but what did we say at the beginning of the week? We said last week, we said somebody had to throw a Hail Mary pass, right? Well, candidate Micheal Williams attempted that Hail Mary pass early in the week with coming out. You know, the candidates all do a bus tour. You know, Casey Cagle, which Natalie and I spent an entire day on the campaign trail with Casey Cagle and his wife, Nita Cagle. Big bus, Casey Cagle. Then Hunter Hill had a big bus, and Brian Kemp's got a big bus. Well, Micheal Williams doesn't want a pansy. Now, that was his quote, right? He says it's not going to be one of those pansy bus tours with these fancy buses. And he launched the deportation bus. And it looked like a prison bus, right, Amanda? Is it still up? Yeah. Leave it up. It looked like a prison bus that they have painted off gray, like a military kind of gray that runs at the prison. And he has deportation bus written all over it. And on the back of the bus it said, follow me to Mexico and illegals will be deported. Micheal Williams for governor. Well, he did exactly what he wanted to do. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He created enough stir, but I don't know if it hit. Did it hit, Amanda? It hit in all the wrong ways. It hit. Amanda says it hit in all the wrong ways, so we'll go with that. So Michael Williams' deportation bus, we have a picture on the screen. It looks like it broke down yesterday, okay? It looked like it broke down on the interstate and, had the hood up, and I think they had to do a little repairs to it to get Michael Williams and his deportation bus back on the road. But Williams has been met with what they say their campaign violent protests. They have been met by signs protesting their deportation bus. In fact, one of his campaign stops was supposed to be at a Cracker Barrel, okay? Now, this is my understanding. You can Google it, okay? My understanding that Cracker Barrel said that the deportation bus has been banned. So Michael Williams cannot roll his deportation bus into the Cracker Barrel parking lot anymore. That's my understanding. Well, you know what happened is they rolled the deportation bus, 3 dishwashers left, and they didn't have clean dishes, and it shot Cracker Barrel's nerves, right? So maybe that's what happened. That's why Cracker Barrel released an issue. Damn, don't bring that bus here. You know how hard it is to get dishwashers? You roll a thing in and it says deportation to Mexico. Next thing you know, we have no plates to serve Uncle Herschel's country breakfast on. I'm serious. So, no, Cracker Barrel, this is true. I think you can Google it. They've released a statement saying, please don't bring your deportation bus to our parking lot. So all that being said, this is the week, folks. It's Friday. You have until Tuesday. Tuesday's election day. And on a serious note, now, I'm going to ask you, if you've not made your decision on who to vote for governor of Georgia, this Sunday will be an 11 Alive Channel 2 debate. The first debate will be, I think, at 2 o'clock between the Democrat candidates for governor, Stacey Evans and Stacey Abrams. And I think following that will be the Republican 5 candidates. They're going to bring the 5 candidates on: Michael Williams, Clay Tippins, Brian Kemp, Hunter Hill, and Casey Cagle. So what I'm asking you to do, now you know me, okay? I do not believe in early voting. I believe there's an election day. So if you've already early voted out there, okay, fine. Obviously it's legal, or you'd be on Michael Williams' deportation bus. So if you're early voting, fine. But if you've not made your decision, please hold your cards. Watch that debate. We will talk about it Monday, that debate. We will break it down, talk about it, join us, and then go Tuesday and select your governor. Monday, we will talk about Monday also Secretary of State, the candidates that are on the slate there, insurance commissioner, lieutenant governor, and the governor's race. So we'll put a lot of time into that because it is election day next Tuesday here in Georgia. That being said, I want to bring up one thing. Now, first of all, I do not want to offend you. Now, Monday through Thursday, I really don't care. That's basically the whole show, is see if I can offend somebody. And then I tell people, I'll say, have you ever watched my show? And they'll say, no. I said, well, here's my rule. You watch the show. I'll do everything I can to offend you. If I don't, tune back in the next day and I'll make another attempt. That's a joke, right? Did you get it right? It's a joke? You good with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet it's kind of true.
It's kind of true?
Yeah.
So anyhow, that being said, on Fridays, I try to make every attempt not to offend a viewer, a single viewer. But I'm about to. Because no, I do not care who's going to walk the American princess down the aisle at the royal wedding at 5 a.m. in the morning. No, I will not be up. No, I do not care. I think somebody ought to wake the Queen up and tell them that they're spending $45 million. They could rent the VFW and get a band. No, I understand. I like the royal wedding. Good for you. Good for you. Good for Prince Harry, Prince Larry, Prince Fred, and Prince Mo. I don't give a damn, okay? Sorry, I didn't want to go there. I don't care. $45 million. And everybody on TV, I see it on Fox and Friends, everybody's all worked up over 5 o'clock, the American princess. And her dad won't be there. He won't walk her down the aisle. I don't care. Did I say that? Is that clear? Or should I go any further?
I totally agree.
You agree?
You're not going to watch the wedding?
Are you watching the wedding?
JR is watching the wedding.
Yeah, man, I already got my
JR, I'll be up at 5 a.m. Got the pot. Do you wear the little crown? Do you?
I got a tiara.
The tiara? Okay. Stop. Before we get to our Ask the Doc segment, I want to make a serious comment. So focus in here. This is my serious moment. Now, I want to say this because I want you to watch for something. This is where I could be right or wrong or somewhere in between. Now, there was a discussion before the show started that Amanda and JR feel that I have never admitted that I was wrong. I always set that up with I may have been wrong. So, I always set it up there. But this is one I want to go for. Take me about 3 minutes, and I could be right or wrong, but I want you to watch for this. It's been 1 year since the American people have Jeff Sessions as an attorney general that did not have the nerve to stand up, and he pawned it off on Rod Rosenstein, that put a special counsel in place, Robert Mueller, that you spent $20 million of your tax money to find out in a report that's coming out soon that there's nothing there. There's no collusion, there's no obstruction, and they will not be able to put Donald Trump in handcuffs. Now, there are media groups out there that actually have the Donald Trump in handcuffs team. They got the team ready. It's like a certain set of reporters. We hear the handcuffs are going today, and they jump into action. I say that jokingly, but there's some truth to that, okay? But there's nothing going to happen in the report to the President of the United States other than it's going to be damaging. Other than they're going to write a report. Mueller's going to write a very damaging report on the President of the United States. And it's going to say, although no laws were broken, President Trump did this. Although no laws were broken, President Trump did this. That's why you have Rudy Giuliani out on every TV show saying, you know what? They can't subpoena, they cannot arrest, they cannot indict the President of the United States. Mueller knows that, okay? Stay with me on this. He knows that. That's why Rudy's out on every TV channel saying that. Now, what's he saying is, we're going to rip that report to shreds. So Mueller is going to put out a report here soon. It's going to say that they can't indict, and they're not going to, and they can't find a clear obstruction that is an indictable offense, and they can't find this, that, and the other thing. So the president's not going to prison, folks, for those of you out there that were praying that would happen, and the handcuffs, it's not going to happen. But the report is going to be nasty. It's going to be so nasty on the President of the United States. Now here's where I want to be right or wrong. Here's the sad side of that. In the entire time that you and I may have thought that Mueller needed to go, we had who? Not Democrats. We had a long list. It was like a line of who could get to the camera of Republicans saying, it was like 30 of them in line saying, well, no, we need to let Mueller complete his investigation. So for the last year, the entire time, Robert Mueller's been doing his investigation. Not Democrats, Republicans have been talking about his integrity. Been talking about a man of honor, a man of principle, while Mueller is the best guy you could ever pick. And these are all on audio tape, every one of them. So Mueller's going to come out with this nasty report, and then they're going to chop it up into commercials for 2018, and then there's going to be some Republican soundbite. We could trust Mueller to do the right thing and look into it. He's credible. You know what? There's going to be so many damn places where Republicans say Robert Mueller is credible. Okay? So watch what happens here. It's going to be so nasty, so ugly. Rudy is preparing to rip it to shreds. They're going to come out every night and deny it. But what are they going to have? They're going to have a whole list of Republicans. So Democrats are going to go around with this report. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be, oh my God, it's just something. It shakes our democracy. We're going to hear the pillars of our democracy are eroding. And Donald Trump, look what he did. And not only do we agree with it, how many Republicans, wow, you know Robert Mueller is a man of integrity. That was said right from all the Republicans. Well, do you think, even Trey Gowdy, all right, now you know I like Trey Gowdy, but even Trey Gowdy, listen, all this, how many interviews does Trey Gowdy, all this stuff of getting rid of Robert Mueller, it needs to stop. We need to let Mueller finish his investigation, okay? Republicans have said we need to let him finish the investigation. Why? So this piece of trash that they're about to release on the President of the United States The Democrats could go around and say, hey, even Republicans say this is a very credible man. Just saying, I may be off the mark there, but watch what develops in this, okay? Just saying. I don't know if that's thought-provoking or not. We're going to come back. It's time for Ask the Doc with Dr. Raymond Tidman, and he'll be in here with us, and then Rick will be in. And when Rick gets in here, we'll have well, I'll let Rick tell you. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World of Blue Ridge. Beautiful, sunny morning here in the mountains. Come visit us. Take us to break.